odds with yourself when it comes to dieting? I think we've all been in that situation where you know that that jelly donut is not the best breakfast option for you, but you just can't help yourself. And how many times did our parents tell us to eat your spinach and eat your Brussels sprouts, but that was the last thing we actually wanted to put in our mouth? Why is it that the bad for you foods taste good and the good for you foods taste bad? When it comes to eating, it can often feel like there's two people trying to drive the same car. You've got your body on one hand, and your body craves what it craves, and sometimes your body craves really junky foods, like hamburgers, soda pops, or little snacky cakes. And then there's your mind, and your mind at least tries to speak up and say, hey, if you keep eating those snacky cakes and soda pop, then your butt's gonna get so big you won't be able to fit in your pants anymore. We could call this dieting duality, where we have two opposing forces. One, the conscious mind, which tells you that you really should be eating healthy foods, and the other, your unconscious, your craving system, the system that usually ends up dictating what you actually end up eating. And this is especially true when someone goes on a diet. The mind is telling you to restrict your calories, but your body is telling you to pig out. And the more that you suppress your body's cravings simply with your mind control and determination, the stronger those cravings become and the more difficult it becomes to suppress them. And eventually you're probably going to end up binge eating. And so dieting has really become a matter of willpower, mind over body. And this can be a really difficult thing to do. But gosh, wouldn't it be a lot easier if we just didn't crave those unhealthy foods in the first place? Why does our body crave unhealthy foods and tell us to overeat all the time? Why is my body telling me to eat all of this fattening crud? It can be very frustrating. When it comes to eating, people for the most part listen to what their body is craving rather than what their mind is telling them they should eat. So it works a little something like this. A person starts experiencing feelings of hunger, and they start thinking about what they feel like eating. And people will even say, I feel like Mexican food today, or I feel like pizza. And I'm sure that there's been a time that you felt like a donut, or you felt like a double mocha latte with extra whipped cream. I think it's safe to say that people's bodies are craving some pretty unhealthy things, as evidenced by the high percentage of overweight and obesity. And the food industry understands this craving system, and they actually exploit your cravings and design their food because they want to keep you coming back, eating more of their food and continuing to crave it. One perfect example is using caffeine in soda products. Because caffeine is known to be addictive and known to be habit-forming, by adding it or leaving it in the cola products, they know that these products are going to become somewhat habit-forming and addictive. The same can be said about high amounts of refined sugar. This high amounts of refined sugar can also cause habit-forming addictive-like tendencies. And I know that each and every one of us has experienced a sugar craving that we couldn't fight. I think controlling our hunger and our food cravings is really the key to losing weight and maintaining a healthy diet. I mean, is there a way to take these two opposing forces of what your body craves and what your body really needs and actually aligning them? I mean, what if your body actually craved the things that made it healthy rather than craving the junk that makes it fat, zaps its energy, and makes it sick? Human bodies have evolved, so there's really millions of years of experience in survival. And despite what some false information out there says, the human body is actually pretty smart about survival. These craving mechanisms evolved to help guide the mind to figure out what kind of food it would need to pursue, based on the nutritional needs or nutritional deficiencies that the body might have. So if someone's body is low in vitamin C, then they might actually just start craving citrus or some other food that's high in vitamin C. But something is really messing this mechanism up. And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with our body's craving systems, But the fact is that our bodies have millions of years experience eating natural foods and only about 50 years experience eating processed foods. And eating these processed foods, which hitherto didn't even exist, confuses our body's natural craving system, causing us to overeat and gain weight. The body's craving mechanism evolved eating a diet of whole natural foods, like vegetables, fruits, and natural meats. And when we're eating a diet of whole natural foods, then the craving mechanism actually works really well. But when confronted by all of these newfangled, refined fats and sugars, artificial flavors, and other chemical food additives, it just kind of throws the whole system out of whack. Our body has no idea how to respond to that. We're going to end up with nutritional deficiencies, and our craving mechanism just goes wacky. So we're going to end up overeating more calories than our body actually even needs. And once again, the food industry does things to exploit this mechanism. Because while they make money when you eat their foods, they make even more money when you overeat their foods. Things like MSG, high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, and the general refining and processing of foods confuse the hell out of your body's craving mechanism. The next thing to know is that bodies become conditioned by the foods that they eat. So for example, if your only source of vitamin C is from eating Fruit Loops, then when your body is low in vitamin C, it's going to tell you to crave Fruit Loops. But when you eat that bowl of Fruit Loops, in addition to the vitamin C, you're also getting a whole lot of empty calories, a lot of refined sugar, some chemical flavoring agents, and a lot of things that your body just doesn't need. So if you're tired of being hungry all the time, overweight, tired, and sick, then we need to recondition your body's craving mechanism off of the modern junk foods and back to the natural, healthful foods. And before long, your craving mechanism will straighten back up and you'll actually be craving those healthful foods instead. So here are a couple of things that mess up your body's craving mechanism. The first thing that can mess up your body's food craving mechanism is caffeine. And if you're addicted to caffeine, you probably feel like you can't live without it. You feel like you just cannot start your day without a cup of coffee. And sometimes you may even get headaches until you have a soda or energy drink. But caffeine is one of the easiest drugs to withdraw from ever. And it's water soluble, so your body can actually eliminate it. This is also why drinking caffeine makes you have to pee. It's your body's attempt to eliminate that toxin. Caffeine withdrawal can cause headaches, cravings, feeling tired or groggy, and even feeling depressed. And these symptoms can begin anywhere from 12 to 24 hours since your last caffeine intake, with the peak intensity occurring at about 1 to 2 days. But then from there, it just starts getting better and better. And within a week, you should be able to be completely off of caffeine with no withdrawal symptoms and no cravings. The second thing that can mess up your body's natural food craving mechanism is highly refined and processed sugars and starches. And they cause artificial hunger and artificial cravings by causing your blood sugar to roller coaster up and down. And this blood sugar roller coaster is the primary cause of overeating, weight gain, sugar cravings, low energy, and diabetes. And it's only the refined and processed sugars and starches like white bleached flour or high fructose corn syrup that cause this blood sugar roller coaster. Natural fruits or whole grains will never do this to you. You could call this sugar addiction, and it can be even more difficult than a caffeine addiction, but overcoming it is certainly not impossible. You just need to eliminate refined sugars and eliminate processed wheat or corn products from your diet. Start eating fruit whenever you're feeling a sugar craving, even if you don't feel like eating the fruit. And before long, your body will actually start craving the fruit, and those artificially sweetened fruit foods won't even taste good anymore. This will also stabilize your blood sugar, which is going to give you more energy, and most people will even start losing weight. To reset your craving mechanism, you don't have to worry about calories or how much you eat. Just start eating produce and meat that actually comes from the butcher. So no more food that comes in boxes, no microwave meals or trips through the fast food window. If you'll begin to explore the outer sections of the grocery store, you will likely discover hundreds of new foods to start incorporating into your diet. Because of that conditioning factor we addressed earlier, people who tend to only eat a handful of foods will also only crave that handful of certain foods. But the good news is that you can really embark on an adventure of new foods, discovering new things to start enjoying. And the more diversity that you add into your diet, the better that your craving mechanism will begin to work. Now, granted, this is not necessarily the most convenient thing, but this is another part of the trap that the food industry has set for you. Not only are they exploiting your food cravings and doing relentless amounts of advertising and marketing, but they're also giving you the opportunity to sell out your health for a little convenience. So it's really become a question of your health and the size of your belly, or a little bit of extra time and effort that it takes to eat healthy foods. It only takes about 3 weeks of eating natural foods to put your craving mechanism back on track the way that nature evolved it to be. The result is that you'll be craving less junk foods, you'll spend a lot less time feeling hungry, you'll have more energy, and you'll probably even be losing weight even though you're able to eat as much food as you want. You could call this a whole food diet. It's what your body evolved to eat. It's what your body knows how to crave, and ultimately, it's what's going to make you healthy. So you can say goodbye to diet duality. Eating doesn't have to be a struggle anymore. And this will dramatically improve your health and your waistline. If you're trying to lose weight, then you have likely seen people advertising high-carb diets and low-carb diets. So what the heck is actually better? In a future video, we're going to take a closer look at the macronutrients and how you can actually have a successful diet. And in another video, I'm going to give you my top 10 tips for how you can easily and painlessly make lifestyle changes. So be sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will give me a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Be sure to friend Psychetruth on Facebook and leave a comment letting me know any questions, topic requests, or your weight loss success stories. To learn more about how the fast food industry exploits our food craving mechanisms, check out the video Fast Food Designed to be Addictive. To find out more about how the blood sugar roller coaster causes excessive hunger, diabetes, and a whole host of other problems, check out the video Understanding Blood Sugar. To find out why healthy foods are so good for you and why junk foods are a recipe for early death, check out my video Superfoods versus Junk Foods. For a quick and easy guide to help you determine which foods are whole natural foods and which foods are processed refined foods, check out my video Whole versus Processed Foods.